Yeah, so the algorithm's probably gonna hate me for what I'm gonna tell you to do in this video, but I get to this point every year, maybe a couple times a year, and today I gave a lesson to my seniors in my Bible class, and in that lesson, it reminded me of getting back to this point every year. It was one of our last sessions that we're gonna have together, so I asked them a simple question. What's something that you wish you would have learned while you were here at school, but wasn't necessarily covered in your classes? And it's not the first time I've asked this question, and I often get the same responses. One of the responses is, I wish I would have learned about taxes or how to change a tire on a car. In fact, one person literally put in tying knots. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with wanting to learn those things, but I think there might be something wrong if we are waiting for a lesson in a classroom setting for us to learn how to do those things. Because I think the last thing that these students need is another lesson. In fact, if I wrote up objectives on how to change a car tire and I had them sit down in a classroom to learn how to change a car tire, it's not going to be the most effective way for them to learn the thing. The thing is, you learn doing those things by just doing them. You get tax software and you follow the steps. You find the tire iron in your trunk. You watch a YouTube video and then you do the thing. You find a Boy Scout who can teach you how to do a timber hitch. All of those things you learn by just doing them, which is why I don't think we need more lessons. I don't think we need more sermons, but instead I think we need something else. And it's not just my classroom students. It's also the people who listen to me speak every Sunday. I get to a point where I'm like, I don't think you guys need another sermon from me. And don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm saying there's not more to learn and there's not more room for growth. But I think the part of the sermon where we are depending on the sermon to motivate us to do the growing and to do the learning, it's that bit that makes me think, okay, maybe you don't need another 3 points or you don't need another lesson plan to get to the places you need to go to learn the things that you need to learn how to do, to accomplish the goals that you have in your mind and in your life. And what I told my students today, and what I'm telling you now, and every once in a while I have to say this from the pulpit as well, is what you need is to believe in yourself. And before the orthodoxy police start coming at me, I'm not saying that it's all in our own strength and this is just self-help and like believe that you can. No, it's not like any of that soft Disney type of stuff. I think you need to believe in yourself that you can do the things that you need to do. I think it's in 2 Peter 1:4. Where he says, God has given you everything you need to live a godly life. And he's saying this before people had access to YouTube videos and online courses and a formalized educational system like we have today. God has given you everything that you need for a godly life. And what I've found in years of teaching and giving sermons and preaching and working with people in church is that it's true. God has given you everything you need for a godly life. In fact, God has given you everything you need for your next step. I found that most of the time, people know exactly what they're supposed to do next, but there's fear or anxiety or self-doubt that makes people be like, well, I'm not exactly certain. Let me watch one more video. Let me get one more lesson. Let me have a conversation with one more mentor, one more advisor. And then once I have it all figured out, then maybe I'll do the thing that I know I'm supposed to do. And I'm not trying to put down a love of learning and wanting to get more information. I love learning things just for funsies. But if learning is the excuse that you are using so that you don't have to take action, I want you to know that you already have what it takes. Even at the end of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, he says, he who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who builds his house on a rock. He dropped 3 chapters of knowledge and he's like, okay, so now go do the thing. So I think the number one thing getting in the way of your growth and your progress toward godliness, toward your fitness goals, toward being a better parent, toward being a better student, toward being a better athlete, whatever it is that you are working towards, I think the thing getting in the way of it is you're just not doing the thing that you already know you need to do. And if there is legitimately a knowledge gap, like you don't know where to start, I think instead of waiting to have all of your ducks in a row, just figure out what the next one actionable thing you are supposed to do is and then do that thing. Like my student who asked, I wish I would have learned how to change the tire on a car. You're only a 30-second YouTube video away from learning how to change a tire on a car. You don't need to get a PhD in tire changing. You just have to believe in yourself and believe that God has already given you what it takes to do the thing that God wants you to do. And obviously, changing the tire on a car is not nearly as complex as some of the issues or some of the problems some of you guys might be facing. And maybe even in exasperation, you've said to yourself, oh man, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. But if you take yourself out of lizard brain just for a moment, I do think if you pause and ask God for the wisdom, like it says in James chapter 1. Ask God for wisdom, and he'll give it to you. But don't doubt. Don't be like, oh God, just tell me what to do. Ooh, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. No, ask for the wisdom. Trust he's going to give you the wisdom, and then act. Do the thing that you know you need to do. And this is why the algorithm's gonna hate me, because I want you to go do that thing right now. I don't want you to watch another video from me. I mean, I guess unless the thing that you know you have to do is gain more biblical knowledge, because then I do have I have videos that can help you on that, and that would be a thing that you would do. But I'm not even gonna put up an end screen linking to some other video that I think you should watch, because what I want you to do is I want you to finish this video, and I want you to get off your butt and do the thing that you know God wants you to do. And if you found this helpful, then yeah, swing back around to YouTube and say thanks in the comments or whatever. But ready? Go do it.